Welcome to Switzerland. I hope you can hear me. Let me know with a thumbs up that you can hear what's going on. It would be good to hear you and see what's going on. I'm doing this from a hotel room and I'm doing this from an iPad. So yes, let's see if it's going to work. If you hear noises in the background, it's a 45-kilogram Labrador who is doing his thing in the background. So yes, let me know if you can hear what's going on in the background. Thumbs up, like I said, and then I'll know you're all there. Thank you very much for joining us. Vanessa is busy writing in the background, I see. Vanessa is using, Andrew's there and says hi. That's good. Thank you, Andrew. Good to know that you can hear us. That's very good indeed. So, and my Schwiegermutter ist da. Hallo, liebe Schwiegermutter. Grüße aus Basel. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we are in Switzerland and we're not at the organ. This is not a live stream involving any music whatsoever. This is a live stream involving nothing but chat. So yes. So I have to, or Johannes has already said it then, yes, we have to come to Basel. Or we had to come to Basel because tomorrow morning, Monday morning, I have to have a very small medical, shall we say procedure, a little sort of medical thing, let's put it like that. Nothing serious, but we had to come to Basel for it because it's not something you can't do in Germany. Psh, don't tell the Germans. Something we can't do in Germany. So we had to come all the way to Switzerland to get it done. And we had to get it done here we could have had it done anywhere in Switzerland, but we decided to find somewhere in Basel that does it because Basel is much closer. It's only 400 kilometers from home. And we were here in 4 hours time today. So we had a beautiful drive down from the Westerwald to Basel, which is a very beautiful city just across the border into Switzerland along the River Rhine. We arrived here at about, when were we here? 5, half 6? We were about 5:30. We arrived here in Basel. We wanted to be here a little bit earlier, but you know what it's like when you have a wife and a dog. Things take a little longer to get the car packed and all the rest of that. She's saying yes. So it took a little longer than we thought. And getting down here, there was nothing on the road at the top. It's the easiest drive we've ever had. So we just set the cruise control on the car, drove down. And here we are, and it was a beautiful sunny day, but it's also been a very, very cold day. Now we wanted to go see the town a little bit, and we just had a little drive around the city as much as you can see before it got dark. We then had something to eat, and something nice to eat, and that's it. And then we're back in the hotel. We're on the 12th floor of a hotel in Basel, which is rather nice. We've got this. We're sort of at the exhibition center. It's not a hotel in the city center. Have you seen the prices of that? I don't know if any of you from around the world, I don't know how much you know about Switzerland, but let's just say it's probably, I think sort of after Singapore, probably the most expensive country in the world for anything. I'll tell you about our pizzas in a minute. We got takeaway pizza for dinner. It's frightening. But yeah, so no, we deliberately got a hotel outside the city centre, over at the sort of exhibition centre. It's very nice, and it's still Swiss prices, but it wasn't all that desperately expensive. So here we are, and it's great because they give us a room on the 12th floor, so we have this beautiful view across the city, which I could show you if no, I could, but it's dark outside, so obviously I can't. But it's a beautiful hotel, beautiful view. Small room, but good enough for Mr. and Mrs. Gartshore and the dog. And the dog has just finally calmed down. He gets very worked up on long trips, which is good fun. He was quite fascinated, so I'm doing it myself now. He was quite fascinated looking out the window. The entire room has a glass front looking out over part of the city. And it's quite fascinating watching the world go by from the 12th floor. It's something you don't get to do very often. So yes, so here we are. So thank you for joining us. There's over 100 people here, which I think is amazing. Thank you very, very, very much indeed for joining us. If you have any questions to ask, then ask away. I will. I'm here for you. We're here in Switzerland to take care of things tomorrow morning. I'm not going to tell you much. I'm not going to say anything about it because it's private, obviously. The only thing I will mention is that because it's in Switzerland, it's so expensive. It's so expensive. Everything in Switzerland is so expensive. We got 2 takeaway pizzas from a pizza restaurant. It's a chain. It's not Domino's or anything like that. Slightly better than that. But even though the prices wouldn't have been any difference, even if it was Domino's, we paid for 2 pizzas. 2 pizzas. 2. We paid over 40 francs for 2 pizzas. That's 40 euros for 2 pizzas. 40 euros. So that's what, 30 pounds or $60 for 2 pizzas. Yeah, I'm Scottish. That's impossible. That's absolutely impossible. Yeah. So anyway, so that's absolute madness. And yeah, that really is madness. If you want, madness. But those are the prices. That's just what things are like in Switzerland. And yes, somebody just said the only medical thing I know of that can't be done in Germany but in Switzerland is assisted death. Well, thank you very much for that. No, I'm not going to get myself put down. No, we're not quite at that stage of life yet. We're not at that stage yet. So no. It's nothing like that. Nothing like that. Don't worry. I will come home in one piece, and I will still be alive. I will be driving home tomorrow myself. So don't worry. It's nothing serious at all. It's just something that can't be done in Germany. That's as simple as that. The sort of the backfire of that part is, of course, because it has to be done in Switzerland. It's like 700 euros to get it done. And no, it's not that either. You can get that done anywhere in the world. It's definitely not that. Definitely not that at all. So no, it's nothing serious. Don't worry. A lot of people have been asking, so don't worry. Don't worry. It's nothing like that. Someone's saying they want to see the dog. Can I turn the camera around? I think I can turn the camera around. There you are. There you are. There's the dog on the floor. He's that's him with his little sheep, and he loves his sheep because he gets to sort of. Have you ever seen a dog do that before? I bet you've never seen a dog do that before. That's a dog sort of nuzzling his sheep. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? There he is in all his glory. There you are. Now, that's all I'm allowed to show you. I'm not allowed to show you anyone else. Vanessa is here. Where are you? Oh, she's high. Oh, she went away because I was showing Charlotte. Oh, you can come back now. I'm back on my own camera. She's scared that I'm going to show her in the background. Oh, quickly come in and sit down and hide yourself. Quick.
No.
Why not? I'm not going to show you. Don't worry. I promise I won't show. Don't worry. So just come in and sit down. Oh my goodness! No, we mustn't. You can ask Vanessa questions. By the way, Vanessa says she will very happily answer your questions this evening. So there you are. So anyway, yes. So fire away. If you have anything you want to know, then do ask, because that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. I'm really just amazed that over 130 people now. Why can't I read the chat for some reason? This iPad. No, it's not letting me read the chat. Oh, there we are. It's letting me read the chat now. I can zoom through the chat as well. That's nice, isn't it? So who's here this evening? Let's have a look. Oh, here, Razbaz, Marco. You asked if we could meet up at some point. Well, because of what we're getting up to tomorrow morning, we sort of said, no, we're just gonna head out and be ourselves. I said be ourselves. Here we are with all of you. So I just said we would be here, just us doing our thing. So don't worry, Marco. Some other time we will definitely be back down in this area and we can arrange a get together. But this time it was unfortunately not going to work. Oh my goodness, Reen, thank you very much indeed. Wow, Reen. Oh, Reen, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed. That will go go towards not just the pizzas, but tomorrow. But never mind. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, so thank you. So let me go. I was having a run through who was here. So I got...
Die Pizzen wurden bezahlt von Rien.
Exactly. Rien just bought our dinner. Thank you, Rien. That was very lovely of you. Thank you very much. Adrian Morris, I hope the pizzas were gold plated. No, they weren't. They were just normal bloody pizzas. Nothing special at all. If any of you from around Germany, you'll have heard of the company called Vapiano. And these were just normal Vapiano pizzas. But those are Swiss prices. Can you believe that? I remember I came to Switzerland, years ago to play a concert. I was in Zurich. I played an organ concert in Zurich years ago. And before the concert, I was on my own. Before the concert, I went out to an Italian restaurant. Not in the city centre, further south from the city centre, within walking distance, but not all part of the city centre, a little further down. And I ordered a pizza. It was a nice little Italian restaurant. I was practically the only person there, which is always a bad sign. I should have worked that one out. And for a pizza and a glass of red wine, I paid almost 50 francs, so almost 50 euros. Yeah, isn't that crazy? So it's just life in Switzerland. If you want the best of both worlds, you work in Switzerland, get paid in Swiss francs, and live in Germany because the cost of living and taxes are much cheaper. So it would be much more sensible. Everyone says, "Oh, you can live in Switzerland; it's tax free." That's not true. Certain things in Switzerland are tax free, but Switzerland itself is definitely not tax free, and Scotland certainly isn't either. Yes. So here we are. Right. Here we are. What's this?
Kennengelernt haben.
Someone's asking a question.
Robert.
Who asked?
Robert Warner.
Who?
Nach der Spende Jürgen Stelzer und dann Robert.
Nach der Spende Jürgen Stelzer. Unser Emma hatte von ersten Teil ein blaues Kissen, das habe ich immer noch. What? Oh, Jürgen, and okay, thank you. There's something to do with it. Robert Warner, how did you and Vanessa meet? Well, we actually met in a restaurant. And it was actually the restaurant that Vanessa owned at the time. Vanessa used to work in the gastronomic side of things. Actually, darf ich so erzählen, was du eigentlich vorhattest im Leben früher? Oder noch nicht? She's not letting me tell anything. I'm going to anyway. Many years ago, Vanessa was going to, when she graduated from school, she was going to study medicine. She wanted to study medicine, and she could have studied medicine. She had the grades for it. Very intelligent girl. She had the grades for it, but for some strange reason, she decided no, she would rather earn some money, and she wandered into the world of gastronomy, and that took her away from her home in the Westerwald, which was a bit weird. Why can't I see the chat all the time? I don't understand that. I have to sort of keep touching it to get it. And she sort of moved away from the Westerwald and started working in Italian restaurants, and she eventually started owning Italian restaurants. Now, it turned out that this was a ruse for somebody else, but never mind. She was sort of kind of conned into it, if you know what I mean. But she was very successful, and then she moved back to the Westerwald region of Germany, where she wanted to open another restaurant. She wanted to close one restaurant and move back home to go for another restaurant. And I met her there in her restaurant. I went to it. It was a Greek restaurant, believe it or not. And this was in the town I used to live in the Westerwald. And I saw it was a new restaurant, so I thought, right, I'm going to try that. And I ordered something online for my lunch, and it was delivered by Vanessa. Now, when you order something from a Greek restaurant, I don't mean this in a nasty way at all, but when you order something from a Greek restaurant, what's your image of the person who is then going to deliver that food to you? Well, it's not Vanessa, let me tell you that. Yeah. So when you sort of, when you pick up your door thing and say hello and say, oh yes, come downstairs to the flat, and I had a flat down in the cellar in those days, and this goddess basically came down the stairs with a pizza. Not a pizza, what was it? What did I order? I can't remember. I can't even remember what I ordered. It was something Greek. And this goddess came downstairs with this food. She was all dressed beautifully, had beautiful long blonde hair, and a young girl taking food, high heels, all these sorts of things. And I thought, what's all this about? So I think I made some kind of joke about the way she looked delivering food, and she said, "Shut up, it's my restaurant," basically. And that was it. That was the first time we ever met. And then I ordered something again, and it wasn't delivered by her. It was delivered by one of the guys working in the restaurant. And then the third time I ordered something, she came back again. And I think I made another sarcastic comment about what she was wearing. I think she was still wearing... I think you were wearing something white that time, weren't you?
Yes.
She was wearing a white dress, a very, very short and tight white dress. Mm-hmm. And, sorry, I sound like Roy Chubby Brown, I'll stop that. She was wearing a very tight white dress and sort of teetered down the stairs to my flat in her high heels, and I couldn't believe it. And I basically fell in love with her on sight. It took her a little longer, of course, but one of my musical groups, that we had, or that I had back then, we had our Christmas party at her restaurant. And I was conducting the choir. They were singing sort of stuff. I think we were singing dirty songs. Can't remember what they were about. They were singing fun songs anyway. And apparently that's the night she fell in love with me. And the rest, as they say, is history. She got rid of her partner. I got rid of my partner at the time, and we got together. Am I allowed to say it like that? I'm allowed to say it like that, so there you are. So there's a bit more than that, but that's sort of the potted version of it. Yes, Greek goddess, you might say, is right. Vanessa isn't Greek; she's very German.
Oh, yeah.
She's not. She's definitely not Greek. Don't worry, but a goddess nonetheless. So yes, that's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Dulcian fragt, wie die Covid-Situation in Switzerland.
Wer hat
Dulcian.
Johannes. Johannes was asking. Soll ich das auf Deutsch oder auf Englisch?
Ja, hat auf Englisch geschrieben. Aber
Johannes wrote in English. Okay. Good evening, Vanessa and Fraser. William. Hello, William. Good evening. Johannes, that's Dulcian32, was asking, how is the corona situation here in Switzerland? Well, we arrived wearing our masks. Look at this. We're very good. We wear FFP3 masks. That's how good we are. We don't want this at all. So we wear the really good masks. So we arrived wearing our masks in the hotel. We walked into the hotel foyer. Nobody wearing a mask. The guy behind reception, the guy at the bar, guests sitting all around the place, nobody wearing masks. Two of us with our masks. And we thought, okay, what's on? So I said to the guy, I said, what's the story about masks? He said, oh no, Switzerland has dropped all restrictions, apart from masks in buses and trams and public transport. Okay, because in Germany, of course, we still have restrictions. I don't know what it's like around the rest of the world, but we still have our restrictions. Germany still has about 200,000 cases a day, new cases a day, which is madness. And apparently here in Switzerland, the government said, no, we're happy now, no more restrictions. So when we were driving around town, when we went to pick up our pizzas, we had the masks on the whole time. We're still so used to wearing the mask. We just did it automatically when we went into the restaurant to order our pizzas. But nobody else was. Everyone's sitting in restaurants, everyone's sitting in pubs, everyone's leading a normal life again here in Switzerland. So whether that's safe or not, I don't know. I really don't know, but it's really rather good. Really rather good. Definitely good fun for the Swiss. So anyway, so no, we had a little walk around the city centre here in Basel when we arrived. It's a bit cold, but we went for a little walk around town anyway, and took a couple of pictures. Maybe I'll post one as a community post on the channel. But yeah, beautiful town. There was a very small demonstration going on outside the Rathaus, outside the city hall here in, well, would you call it a demonstration? I don't think it was a demonstration. It was a show of solidarity, I suppose, is what you would say. They had a sort of an electronic version of the Ukrainian flag on the wall, the front wall of the city hall. And they had, instead of the Swiss flag flying, the normal flag flying, it was definitely the Ukrainian flag that was flying. So that's a rather nice touch. So well done, Switzerland, who's normally very unbiased about everything. They're definitely showing their feelings about things. So that was a rather good thing to do. Rather good thing to do. At least we think it's a good thing to do. I hope you've all seen my concert for Ukraine that we posted on Friday night. And not only my concert, I hope you do also go and visit Vidas. Vidas is that Secrets of Organ Playing. Vidas Pinkevičius. I hope you go and visit his channel, where he also yesterday at around sort of 5 p.m, 6 p.m. European time, he posted a concert for Ukraine as well. And Vidas, of course, lives in Lithuania, so they're a bit worried over there what's going to go on, because they're very, very, very close to the action. So yeah, kind of scary stuff. Anyway, let's not talk about that. That's a subject for our politicians and all our people there. So, what more questions? I can't really see the chat here, so that's not really good. Yeah, but it keeps disappearing. I have to keep touching it.
Ursa Mayo fragt, ob Shiloh gerne Auto fährt.
Bitte?
Ob Shiloh gerne Auto fährt.
Shiloh? Auf Deutsch oder auf Englisch?
Auf Deutsch.
Auf Deutsch. Das ist for Ursa Mayo. I'll do it quickly in English first. Ursa Mayo was asking if Shiloh, that's the dog, if Shiloh likes driving the car. Well, no, he doesn't like driving the car because he's a dog. Dogs don't drive cars. At least they shouldn't. They shouldn't. What are you doing there?
Ich muss was gucken.
I see. Vanessa's looking at 4 different things at the same time here. No, but he's a very good passenger in the car. We have a little ramp for him because he's quite old now. So he sort of, well, getting him up the ramp is a bit of a pain in the backside, but never mind. He gets in, and he's fine. But no, he's very good in the car. He just sort of lies down in the back, falls asleep. Occasionally he sort of stretches his legs and things. We've got an SUV, a Skoda Kodiaq SUV. So if you don't know what that is in America, it's like the Volkswagen Tiguan Allspace. I think you know what the Tiguan Allspace is. Same size as that. So you would call it a very small SUV in Australia, but over here in Europe, it's one of the larger ones. And he's got plenty of space there in the back, so he just sort of hangs about and does his thing. And I mean, we drove all the way down to Basel in one. You don't need to stop. It's only, 4 hours? So, we did it in a one, and he's happy with that, so no problem. Okay, ganz schnell auf Deutsch. Ursula Major fragt, was macht unser Hund im Auto?
Ob er gerne Auto fährt.
Ob er gerne Auto fährt. Ja, Hunde haben keine Führerscheine, er darf kein Auto fahren. Nein, natürlich, er fährt super Auto, wirklich. Früher nicht, als er junge war nicht. Der war ein absolut Nervensäge die ganze Zeit. Also er ist wirklich, also wir sind einmal, das ist Jahre her, wir sind vom Westerwald zur Amalfi-Küste gefahren in Urlaub, Sorrento, da unten. Mit Übernachtung auf der Hälfte, weil es einfach zu weit ist. Und den ganzen Weg, 8 Stunden im Auto, hat er rumgeturnt und er wurde überhaupt nicht ruhig. Aber mittlerweile, er steigt ins Auto, wir haben eine Rampe für ihn, weil er wird 12 dieses Jahr. Wir haben eine Rampe für ihn und mit Ach und Krach steigt er diese Rampe hoch, er würde lieber springen. Und dann legt er sich hin und alles gut. Also wir haben die Reise vom Westerwald Richtung Basel in einem gemacht, also 4 Stunden einfach durchgefahren. Und ja, er legt sich hin, schläft, ab und zu mal streckt er seine Beine und hechelt, aber ansonsten macht er gar nichts. Ein super Hund, natürlich ein super Hund, bester Hund der Welt.
So.
Everything in my life is the best it could be. I have the best audiences in the world, I of course have the best dog in the world, and obviously I have the best wife in the world, but I'm not allowed to show her to you yet. Apparently the deal is 50,000 subscribers. By the time it's her birthday, that's the... She says 100,000. No, we changed that. We said 50,000 by her birthday. Her birthday is the end of March. The last Sunday, March, 27th of March. Mark it down in your diaries. And if we get 50,000 by then she will make an appearance. There you are. That's the deal. Okay, next.
Colin, will you ever make a video showing the stops of a Cavalli call organ?
Colin, will I ever make... do you mean a real Cavalli call organ or a virtual Cavalli call? Probably a real one. I kind of have already. If you look back through the videos, a video I called, what did I call it? French Sensation. A French Sensation in Bonn, I think I called it. And that's my old organ in Bonn, the city in the middle of Germany where I used to live. It used to be the German capital. And that organ, it's not actually a Cavalli call, but it's a Cavalli call style. And it has all the sounds that a Cavalli call organ should have. It was based on, the sounds of that organ were based on, it was voiced on Saint-Sulpice, or copy of Saint-Sulpice. And they did it very well. So I've done that. But a real Cavalli call organ, a real French Cavalli call organ, I will. Yes, at some point I will. I saw Alexander König.
Wer das geschrieben
Nee, Wolfgang König, not Alexander König.
Wer das gefragt hat?
Nee, das war Colin.
Das war Colin, ja.
Aber vorhin hat jemand gefragt, ob wir nach Corona, was ist die erste Orgel, die wir besuchen wollen.
Das war Wolfgang König.
Das war Wolfgang König, sorry. Wolfgang König hat gefragt, was ist die erste Orgel, die wir besuchen wollen nach Corona? Nach Corona. Wahrscheinlich was in der Schweiz, oder? Weil hier gibt es kein Corona mehr. Ja, weiß ich nicht, ist die Antwort auf diese Frage. Werden wir sehen. Aber es wird was Neues sein und bestimmt was Cooles. Wolfgang König asked, what's the first organ we're going to go and visit once Corona is over? And I just made the joke, will Corona ever be over? Probably not. So we shall see. The answer to that is I don't know. I really don't know. We will find out. We will definitely find out what's happening. Definitely find out what's happening. Graham Hayward is there. Graham Hayward, hello, how are you? Haven't heard from you for a very long time. How are you doing? I'm doing very well, thank you. I hope you too are doing very well. And yes, we must get in touch again because, Graham Hayward is one of my online students, and Graham and I need to get back together to have some more exciting lessons. We were doing the Norman Cocker tuba tune last time, and that's good fun. So I think we should definitely do that. Very good. Graham Twist, on the other hand, is speaking French at the moment. Who are you speaking French to, Graham? Talking about, what are you talking about? Fish restaurants in Calais. All right, fair enough.
Ich muss mal sagen, dass ich heute nicht so schreiben kann, weil ich nur das Handy habe, ja.
So Vanessa is not writing so much tonight because she's we don't have a laptop with us. We've got an iPad and a mobile phone. So she's writing on the she's writing at the same time on the mobile phone.
Eigentlich begrüße ich immer alle persönlich, aber das ist mir...
Oh, see, so that's why Vanessa's not saying hello to you all personally like she normally would. So yes, so unfortunately that's what that's all about. Sorry about that. That's a real shame. Oh, Johannes wants to know about fish restaurants in Calais. Why don't we all meet in a fish restaurant in Calais one day? That would be cool, wouldn't it? Look, here's another dog again. Look. There's a happy dog. Hello, happy dog. You can see his sheep again. Oh no, he doesn't do this for this long normally. He sort of grabs his sheep like this and then sort of bites it to death, basically. Bite it to death. John Wilson just asked, if I could play any other instrument, what do I wish it would be? That's easy.
Beantwortest du nicht mehr nach Reihenfolge, ne?
No, of course not. Are you writing them down or something? No. I just saw that question there because this chat is weird on an iPad. Anyway, sorry, John was asking if I could play anything. I always wanted to be able to play the drums, and I'm guessing that's because of the coordination thing, the hands and the feet. I love sort of, you know, I'm a jazz musician as well, so I've always loved jazz drumming, and I think that's amazing. I always wanted to be a drummer as well. So maybe one day, if we ever end up with a house with lots of room around it, where I can't annoy the neighbours, then I think I will buy a drum kit and teach myself to play the drums. I think that would be a good plan. Okay.
Okay, weiter.
Fire away. This is fun, actually. I quite like this.
Was ist mit der ältesten Orgel in Sion?
In Sion? Oh, yes.
Contra Organs hat das gefragt.
Who asked that?
Contra Organs. Wenn es nicht so weit von euch weg wäre, wie ist es mit der ältesten Orgel in Sion?
Yeah, here in Switzerland, in a very, very dark corner of Switzerland, up in the mountains, in a place called Sion, S-I-O-N, there is allegedly the oldest working organ in the world. It dates from, I have no idea, it's very, very old, incredibly old. And it's still playable. Of course it's been restored and changed. It's like people who say, my brush, this is the oldest brush I've ever had. I've only replaced the handle 3 times and it's only got 2 new heads on it. You know, that kind of thing. But the pipes are still the original old pipes of that wonderful organ. I have heard it, but I've never been there, so I've never played it. But I do know somebody, Roger, a friend of mine here in Switzerland, he lives near Bern. A friend of mine, Roger, he knows somebody there and he can get me in there. So when we are down here on, I don't know, on holiday or on a tour or maybe for a concert or something, anyone in Switzerland wants us for a concert, do please ask. We love coming to Switzerland. Then I would love to get in there, and it sounds like I could get in there, so it shouldn't be a problem. My friend Roger will be able to get me in there. That would be cool. Here we go. It's from 1420. Okay, and it should be contra. Okay, all right then. Do I play the bagpipes? Good God, no. Bagpipes not a musical instrument. It's an instrument of torture and war. When the Brits were being imperialist back in those days, they would send sort of hairy-arse Scotsmen around the world with bagpipes to scare the living devil out of Johnny foreigners. Sorry, I'm being very British there. And and then they would go and stick a British flag on the ground and say, "Hello, sausage, egg and chips, please." The bagpipes. Yeah, bagpipes is like most of those sort of things that everyone thinks is very sort of romantically Scottish, like kilts, the way we wear them now, and the bagpipes, the way they sound now. That's all very much a sort of a relatively modern reinvention of much older things. And mainly because Prince Albert and Queen Victoria loved all things Scottish. It's sort of that sort of romantic, sort of modern view of you know, things like the Highland Games and all that sort of stuff. That's all Albert and Victoria's invention, basically. And the reintroduction of kilts. Kilts didn't used to be those things that we wear. They were sort of just big, huge yards worth of cloth that was wound around the entire body, like a tartan toga, I suppose. Yeah, the modern equivalent is very much a modern invention. Anyway, never mind. So no, bagpipes. I was never interested in bagpipes. Funnily enough, I should have been, because bagpipes, like the organ, I think it's the loudest instrument you can have, decibel-wise. When I was at university, we had a champion bagpipe player who also studied music with me. Lindsay Davidson was his name, very famous bagpipe player actually, and Lindsay Davidson, and Lynn we played a couple of duets, sort of organ and bagpipes, and we measured the decibel levels there, and it was actually deemed unhealthy. So organ and bagpipe together in the McEwan Hall in Edinburgh. If you know the McEwan Hall in Edinburgh, it's sort of like a mini version of the Albert Hall in London. It's got a huge 4-manual concert organ, which I think John Kitchen told me it's just been refurbished, which is wonderful. That means I really need to get to go and see it again, because it was falling apart even then when I was studying. That's 30 years ago. Yeah, and Lindsay put on his heavy reeds for his bagpipes, and we played a duet on full organ and bagpipes, and basically deafened everybody. I think we measured 143 decibels, which is dangerous apparently. That's like, you know, standing next to a jet landing or something like that. Dulcian32, please upload on Gartshore's Garage again. Yes, that will be happening. Don't worry. Actually, lots of exciting things are going to be happening there. Gartshore's Garage will be resurrected. Gartshore's Garage will be resurrected. More on cars. We still have our little Audi A2 that needs working on, and that will be worked on. We will be doing that. I still have my ratty old Mercedes that's sort of getting mouldy in a corner, so I really need to do something with that. Really need to make that look good again. And then we have the Skoda Kodiaq, which is about to go in for a service this coming week, so maybe we'll do a video on that. And also it needs a new windscreen. All the storms we had recently, something fell on the windscreen as a huge crack in the windscreen, so that needs to be replaced. So that's all happening this week. So maybe we'll do that. And darf ich dir erzählen?
Was denn?
Von unserer neuen Kanalidee.
Das ist nur eine Idee.
It's only an idea.
Ich weiß nicht, ob ich das machen soll.
It's only an idea. She doesn't know if she should do it. Vanessa's thinking. Actually, I tell you what. If you think this is a good idea, I'll do this in English and then in German. If you think this is a good idea, then give us a thumbs up. Okay, a thumbs up here, and of course a virtual thumbs up. We only have 66 thumbs up. Okay, now Vanessa is a very good hobby gardener, and I keep telling Vanessa, because she's so knowledgeable about these things, she should have her own YouTube channel talking about gardening. We wouldn't call it Gartshore's Garden. That would be kind of cute, wouldn't it? But no, it might just be called Vanessa Gartshore or something like that. But she needs her own channel to start talking about... Oh, here we go. Thumbs up are going. Well done. Thank you, everybody. Her own channel to talk about all things green and gardening. And it would be a good excuse to see Vanessa wearing wellies and things like that, you know. And of course, she would have to show herself. So that would be kind of cool. And because the season is about to begin, the gardening season is about to begin, now is the time to start. So lots of thumbs up. Viele Daumen hoch. Die wollen das.
Ich weiß nicht, was ich immer erzählen soll.
Okay, here we are. Let's do another one for you. You're all in the chat there. Answer with the word ja. That's J-A. That's the German ja. German yes. If you think... Answer with the German... You haven't heard the question yet. Everyone say yeah, and you don't even know what the question is yet. What was the question actually?
Weiß ich nicht.
What was the question? I forgot what I was going to ask. Okay, you think Vanessa should do the channel? That's right. And there was something else. She should. What was I going to ask? I was going to ask something. I can't remember.
Ich wollte wahrscheinlich fragen, ob die es wollen oder ob die... Weiß ich nicht.
You can't remember? I can't remember now.
Ich
I can't remember. You all started saying yeah, and I can't even remember. No, Peter, she will not be wearing just wellies. That's not going to happen. On her feet, she'll be wearing wellies. Yes, that'll be there. What was I going to ask? Don't worry, Graham. There will be more than there will be more than hands. Jez says a fig tree special. Definitely.
Ihr wollt mich leiden
Definitely.
sehen,
You have
oder?
to definitely have to see the fig tree. Yes, you have to see the fig tree. What the hell was I going to ask? I was going to ask something. I can't remember. It'll come back to me. But anyway, just say yes. Vanessa's gardening channel. Yeah, I want her to do it. I think it would be great. Oh yes, that's what I was going to say. Answer yeah. Would you, Gartshore's gang here, would you subscribe to a gardening channel in German featuring Vanessa? Would you do that? And if the answer to that is yes, then answer in the German ja. There you are. Okay. Ich mache das jetzt noch mal kurz auf Deutsch für euch. Vanessa will jetzt selber einen Kanal haben und machen. Das wird um Gartenarbeit gehen. Das ist ihr Hobby oder ihre Leidenschaft sogar. Sie liebt ihren Garten und Gewächshaus und so weiter. Und sie liebt natürlich Zitrusbäumen. Sie liebt auch Feigenbäume, auch wenn die sie nicht lieben. Naja, das kann man so anders sagen. Und die Frage war, findet ihr, also erstmal Daumen hoch, wenn ihr das eine gute Idee findet. Ja, Vanessa sollte einen eigenen Kanal haben. Und würdet ihr auch das abonnieren? Und das bitte mit Ja, buchstäblich J-A, antworten. Also, there we go. And of course, yes, her channel will be in German only, because it's going to be a German channel. Yeah.
Also Gleiswanderer hat schon gesagt, die erste Folge soll bitte über den Feigenbaum gehen.
Gleiswanderer sagt, Gleiswanderer, our friend, he says the first show should be all about her fig tree. If you can't remember the stories of the fig tree, may I show you a thumb? Komm mal hier rum und bezeichnen.
Ich habe meinen Deckel in der Hand.
Remember months ago, Vanessa's thumb got attacked by the fig tree. Where here, you can't really see that all that. Can you see that all that well there? Yeah, look at that there. It was cut through. See that? It was cut all the way through there, and it's healed up. It's healed up. Can you see that? And that, wann war das? September, October. That was in September, I think. And look at that. That's how long it's taken to heal. To be that good.
Daniel Heinrich wollte das wissen. Vielen Dank der Frage.
Achso, Daniel Heinrich wollte das wissen und jetzt haben wir es.
Achso, Herbert, der Umschlag ist angekommen.
Oh!
Vielen Dank.
Herbert?
Herbert hat das gefragt, ja.
Herbert hat das gefragt?
Ja.
Herbert, wir haben das am Freitag gezeigt sogar, nicht?
Ja, aber er wollte nochmal sich vergewissern, dass der Umschlag angekommen ist.
Ach, der Umschlag. Ah, ja, danke. Der Umschlag ist auf jeden Fall angekommen. Danke schön. Danke. Das hat auch unsere Pizza heute Abend bezahlt. Danke dafür. Ja, lieber Herbert, sehr schön. Does Vanessa speak any English? Yes, she does, but she doesn't like to. There you are. She does, but she doesn't like to. Yeah, the fig tree accident. When the fig tree arrived, it was so big we had to saw one of the branches off. It was so wide. It was like 2 meters 30 wide. What's that? It's like almost, what's that? Almost 8 feet, I think. It was incredibly wide. And we were sawing off one of these branches, and I was sawing and she was holding. And as the saw got through the branch and it was going, she slipped and went vroom with her thumb, and the thumb and the saw met at the same time, and the sort of cut sideways right across her thumb. Ouch. And yeah, that was the end of that.
Ist das der grüne Daumen?
Is that her green thumb? Yeah, in German we say green thumbs, in English you say green fingers. Yeah, so there we go. It was a very red thumb at that moment. Yes, we had to cancel all appointments. I was supposed to be playing the organ that evening, so we had to cancel that and head straight to hospital to get it. They couldn't stitch it back together because, if I show you my ignore my awful thumbnails here. I keep my nails very short because I play all the time, but it was cut right in here to the nail bed, so there was nothing to nail it or nothing to stitch it back onto. You know what I mean? Nothing to stitch it back to. So they glued it, they super glued it. Hier, Alexander Wunderlich, du bist unser Experte hier. Du kannst uns sagen, wie sowas passiert. Also es wurde wieder zusammengeklebt und it was horrible. glued back together with super glue and then turned around like that. Okay, any more questions? Yes, I just spotted one.
Fox Special in St. Louis.
Fox Special in St. Louis. I've never played the Fox Special in St. Louis. I have played the Fox Detroit, however. The Fox organ in Detroit. The Fox Wurlitzers, there were, I think, 6. There was San Francisco, there was Detroit, there was St. Louis, there was a Fox in New York, wasn't there? Yes, of course there was. It's now in Brooklyn. I think there were 6. Where were the other 2? Can't remember. Where were the other ones? Who can remember where all the Fox organs were? Anyway, and I got to play the one in Detroit. The Fox in Detroit, and I got the Fox Detroit thing. What's wrong with him? He's having a sneeze. That was the dog sneezing. There you are. Hup. He's going to jump up on the bed. There you are. There's a dog on a hotel bed. Come here. Come here. What's he doing? Come here. Yeah. You know, he's lying. He's lying on my side of the bed. That means I get to sleep on the floor tonight. Where were we? Fox. When was I there? 2003, I think. 2003. I had 2003. I was over playing. What was I doing? I was playing something in America. I can't remember. And I had some spare time in Detroit. And I went to see 2 cinemas in Detroit. There was the Redford Theatre, which housed an amazing 4-manual 32 or 36 rank Wurlitzer, I can't remember now, in the Redford Theatre. Absolutely wonderful, beautiful thing. And I got to go and see the Fox Cinema, the Fox Wurlitzer. And this is one of the largest movie palaces and basically theatres in the world. 5,000 seats or something like that. It's huge. And I got let loose in the Fox Wurlitzer for as long as I wanted. And I played it on various occasions because I was staying with friends in Ann Arbor, which is just across from Detroit anyway. And I played the Organist one day just for myself. I made some recordings, which I don't have anymore, which is a real shame. It was wonderful, absolutely amazing. And I was invited back because there was a tour of the Fox Theatre and they wanted someone to play the organ. So I was invited back to play for the tour. And then I went back a 3rd time to play, I can't remember who for some people from Detroit. And actually, one of the most amazing things, everyone said to me, Detroit is the most dangerous city in the world. It was in those days. Or one of the most dangerous cities in the States in those days. Oh, it's awful, you'll be mugged. And funnily enough, I was. I was on a lunch break from the Fox Theatre. I wandered further down, what is it, Michigan Avenue? No, Michigan Avenue is Chicago, isn't it? What is it called? What's this? Or is it Michigan Avenue? I can't remember. The street that the Fox is on anyway. And I walked sort of into the city centre down towards the river. And I was sort of right down at the riverfront, sort of, you know, looking at there's the bridge that takes you over to Windsor, over to Canada. And I was just standing there thinking, there's nothing wrong with this city at all. I have no idea what people have got against this city. And as I was thinking that, I was aware of this guy getting close from behind. And I thought, oh, come on, that would be too obvious, wouldn't it? And I turned round and this guy had a knife in his hand and he said, give me whatever you've got. And I said, sorry, mate, I'm a Scottish musician. And he looked at me and he went, oh, okay, and walked off. That's a true story. So I was almost mugged in Detroit. This guy was after something. I said, no, I'm a Scottish musician. And he went, oh, all right, mate, and walked off and left me alone. That was it. Just went over to get the next guy. And, you know, tried to steal something from him, who ran off, which is the wrong thing to do. Never run away from these people. They will run after you. Anyway, but police caught up with him eventually. I saw him again later in the day and he was in handcuffs. So anyway, but yeah, there you are. So that was my Detroit. Actually, on the same trip, I took a train trip. Imagine that, a train trip in the States. Nobody does that anymore. I took the train from Detroit over to Chicago, my favorite city in the States. I love Chicago. And actually, am I allowed to tell anecdotes? I think some very, 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 very exciting things happened in Chicago. The first time I'd ever been in Chicago in my life, I loved it. And just for fun, I walked into the Chicago Theatre, which also houses an incredibly famous Wurlitzer theatre organ. And I just walked in and said, hello, I'm an organist, and I would like to see the organ, please. And the guy sort of scratched his beard, looked at me and said, okay, I'll see if there's someone there to switch it on for you. And that was it. So we went down, and the organ, it's underneath the stage. And he sort of took the cover off and sort of sat me down and said, right, okay, I'll see if we can find it, see if I can find the switch. So he got some caretaker to come down and switch the organ on, and brilliant. I got going on the Chicago Theatre Wurlitzer. And while I was playing, the stage was being set up for some show for that evening. And I just asked, what show is this tonight? And they said, oh, it's just a comedy show. A comedy show. They didn't know who it was going to be. It's a comedy show. Some Chicago comics are coming. I said, oh my God, that'd be so cool. And this guy said, well, you know, if you hang around for another half an hour, keep playing, don't worry. But, you know, the guys are going to start coming anyway. And, you know, they'll be getting set up for night. So, you know, maybe you get to meet some of them. Maybe you know them. All right. So I carried on playing the organ. And I was aware while I was playing the organ, all these people sort of arriving and people sort of sitting down in the seats in the stalls behind me. And I sort of kept turning around, looking, fine, no problem at all. And all of a sudden, while I was playing, I was aware of this guy on the stage above me. And I looked up, and there was this guy sort of standing there with his arms folded, looking down at me and said, what are you doing tonight? And I said, I'm not doing anything tonight. And he said, you want to play music for my show? And I said, wow, that would be great. And he said, do you know who I am? And I was looking up at him, and all I could see was sort of up his nostrils. And I didn't recognize him by sight, but I did recognize him from his voice. It was none other than, come on, who's the most famous Chicago comic you can think of? He's actually a film star. He's an incredible film star, but he's from Chicago, and he started out as one of the best comics the world has ever known. It was Bill Murray. And it was absolutely amazing. Bill Murray standing up and says, he's huge, he's incredibly tall. I never thought that. So he came down to me, down at the organ, sat beside me on the organ bench and said, all right, I'll tell you what, my favourite tune is, of course, Chicago, Chicago, ba-da-da-da-da. Can you play that? So I launched into Chicago. He said, right, that's it. You're starting the show for me tonight. This was unbelievable. So they got there's a little sort of bit of the stage that you can remove so that the organ can then raise up and down on its lift. So they removed that. We made sure the lift was working. And I went for dinner with Bill Murray. And I was wearing like this. I can't remember what I was wearing. I can't even remember what time of year it was. I really can't remember. We went for something to eat. Did I get paid? No, of course not. But I did get paid. I got a dinner with Bill Murray, just the two of us. And then I got to spend the entire night hanging out with him after the show as well. So it was unbelievable. So yeah, I got to know Bill Murray, who was just so incredibly down to earth and wonderful. And he loved music. He knew everything about music, my kind of music. And he knew everything about organs, believe it or not. He loved the theatre organ. He loved theatre organ music. So there you are. And he probably still does. Why am I saying loved? He probably still does. So anyway, so there you are. There's my anecdote about Chicago all those days ago. So what's next? What's next, Mrs.
Du
Chit?
erzählst so lange für eine Frage, das werden wir nie fertig.
Apparently I'm spending too long on questions. Did I get paid? Of course I didn't get paid. God no. This is a recurring feature as a professional musician. Did you get paid? There have been so many times in my life that I haven't been paid for things. And this is me being Mr. Nice Guy saying, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And and you end up not getting paid, or you certainly don't get paid enough. Or even worse, it ends up costing me at the end of the day. And that seems to be a recurring theme. That's happened a lot. Even recently as well. But I've got Vanessa now who looks after me. Vanessa's good. Vanessa's the one who says, contract. She's good. She's good.
Also, ob du irgendwann mal vorhast, in Saint-Sulpice zu spielen.
Saint-Sulpice. Oh, yes, of course. I love Saint-Sulpice. I played Saint-Sulpice 2001. In 2001, I went to Paris on an organ and choir trip. There were three choirs with over 150, maybe even almost 200 singers altogether. And we went to Paris to perform the Vidor Mass for three choirs and two organs. So it's for big choir and male voice choir. and for both organs. So you've got the big organ at the back and the little organ, the choir organ down at the front. And I was there to play the choir organ, and Daniel Roth was going to play the grand orgue. And we drove off from Bonn and arrived in Paris by bus. I think 3 buses altogether. There were so many of us, maybe even 4. Can't remember. And we arrived, and I had arranged with Daniel Roth to go and see the choir organ, the evening before, just to sort of have a shot at the organ and make sure everything was fine. I understood how it worked, and run through the music and things like that. And we did that, and I met Daniel just as they were closing up the church. So we sat in the church, just the 2 of us, down at the choir organ. And I got to play the choir organ and check it out. It's a beautiful little organ, it really is. And it's great, of course, having Daniel Roth sitting next to you, telling you how to do everything, which is even better. And then afterwards, I of course said, "Oh, would it be possible to get to see the big organ?" He said, "Yes, not now. We will do it maybe tomorrow after the concert." And things, and the way Daniel Roth speaks, he speaks like Peter Lorre, a little bit like Peter Lorre. But anyway, yes, we will do it tomorrow. So that was that the Friday night? Yes, that was the Friday night. On the Saturday we had rehearsals. Yeah, that's right. On the Saturday we had rehearsals, and after the last rehearsal, Daniel said, "Okay, we go upstairs now," and I got to go upstairs to the big organ, and oh my God. Again, Daniel Roth sitting beside me at the organ and showing me how it all works. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had. Not only just being there and playing that organ, but having him sitting next to me, telling me all about it as I'm doing it. And of course, again, church was closed. It was just the 2 of us. And it was amazing, quite something. Somebody just wrote something there about Saint-Denis, where Pierre Pincemin used to play. I had the same experience in there. After we played, when we finished the rehearsals, on the Sunday morning, we played the Mass. We played the Sunday morning Mass, and we actually played the Widor Mass during the Sunday morning Mass, which was wonderful. And then in the Sunday afternoon, we played a concert with Widor Mass and various Widor motets, and Daniel played some Widor. I think Daniel and Sophie Veronique as well played some. They both played Widor organ music on the Grand Orgue in between. It was wonderful, wonderful concert. It was all the sort of the tough Paris nobility, that kind of thing, came to the concert. It was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. And then we all went out afterwards for lots of drinks and food at some Parisian restaurant. And then on the Monday, on the way home, we stopped off at Saint-Denis to visit Pierre Pincemin and that Cavaillé-Coll organ, basically the first real Cavaillé-Coll organ. And Pierre let me have a shot on that one as well. And that was just as good. That really was just as good. And of course, Pierre Pincemin was one of the most amazing organists ever, and one of the funniest and down-to-earth, eccentric, but typically French guys you ever wanted to meet. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful indeed. Okay, what's next, Mrs. G?
What's next? Moment. Ich muss, achso, Warum dein Ehering an der rechten Hand ist. SID oder SID oder?
Sid has asked, why do I wear my wedding ring on my right hand? In Germany, most people wear their wedding rings on their right hand. There you are. Simple as that. Simple as that. It's just.
Jetzt kommt die lustige Erklärung.
Ach ja?
Nein.
No? Vanessa saying in the background, now it's time for the real answer. The real answer is I was married before.
Das reicht.
Let's leave it at that. I was married before, at least once, and I used to wear it on my left hand. So yes, but now I'm wearing it on my right hand. Now I'm wearing it on my right hand. Vanessa wears it on her right hand as well. I'm beginning to believe that wearing it on the right hand brings more luck than wearing it on the left hand. All the times I wore it on my left hand, it didn't work. So there you are. Let's put it like that. You work out the rest of it. Neville Palmer, do I get nervous? Neville, doing what? Can you go into more detail on that, Neville? I don't get nervous before playing. Let's put it like that. I've never had stage fright. I don't know what stage fright is. I really don't know what stage fright is. I understand that people can have stage fright, though. I really do understand that, and I feel very sorry for them. But no, I think I'm lucky that I don't know what that is. So I don't get nervous before I play. Certainly not before a concert. Before an exam, maybe, if when I was at university or at music college, when I played for exams, I might have been a little bit nervous, because the people listening to you, they're judging you, and that makes me a little nervous. But not for playing concerts, never at all. I won't say I don't get excited before concerts. I definitely do that. You have to sort of build yourself up a little bit for a concert. You can't just go completely nonchalant into a concert and say, all right, here we go, play the concert. That doesn't work. You've got to sort of build yourself up a little bit, but it's not nerves. That's not what it is. It's just sort of that, here we go, psych up for it and go. Funnily enough, the larger the audience is, the more comfortable I am. Why the hell I became an organist then, I've no idea. In the past, I used to play with rock and roll bands and blues bands and jazz bands and pop bands and things like that. And I've played for audiences upwards of 50,000 people, and I think that's great. I love that. That's absolutely wonderful. My largest ever organ audience, I think, was about 1,200, which is pretty good for an organ audience. And yeah, like I said, the bigger the better the audience. So I love that. Absolutely love that. Definitely. I just spotted a question there, but I didn't see it. Somebody was asking something about Saint-Ouen. Have I ever played Saint-Ouen? No, I've never been to Saint-Ouen in Rouen. I've never been there. I would love to, but it's too expensive. They want you to pay a fortune to go and play there. It's like in Holland. If you want to go and play Rotterdam, they want you to pay. Which, okay, fair enough. If you're a tourist who wants to come and play the organ, I think that's fine. But I think professional organists should be allowed in for nothing. We're the ones promoting these instruments, so I think we should be allowed access to them for nothing, don't you? Who's saying this? Will G is saying something. What? Romain Moite. What the hell is that? I'm guessing it's French. The Alain family organ. Nope, know nothing about it. Sorry, never heard of it actually. Sorry about that. Maybe that's something I should look into.
Gerhard Long.
Leslie Schramm. I think I remember a young second trombonist taking part in the BSWBE championships in Scotland, probably late 80s, early 90s. Are you talking about me, Leslie? I did used to play piano. Trombone, sorry, someone else is asking about me. Yes, of course I play piano, Jaden Brown, of course I do. Everybody should play piano, Jaden Brown. Piano is absolutely wonderful. Leslie, yes. Leslie, do we know each other? Have we met before? That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? I did used to play trombone. Sorry, yes. Gerald Long, how long have you been performing, and did you just start out in the theatre organ? How long have I been performing? All my life, actually. I started very early on the piano, and my parents got us for the house one of those sort of Yamaha electric organs. That was sometime in the 80s, and I started playing that, and thanks to Nigel Ogden and the BBC Radio 2 The Organist Entertains programme, I got to hear this wonderful thing, theatre organ. I'd never heard it before. I was fascinated by this theatre organ, and I went on a trip to Blackpool with my grandmother, and we visited the Blackpool Tower Ballroom Wurlitzer, which of course was, that's as good as it gets in the UK in those days anyway, and absolutely wonderful. And I was completely hooked on theatre organ, and I played lots of theatre organs before I ever touched a church organ. The church organ came much later. The church organ was sort of a deal, Again, my parents, with my music teacher at the time, they sort of said, it would probably be a good idea if you got proper organ lessons, just to get a bit of better technique, if nothing else. So that's what happened there. That's when that started. And it's interesting, actually, because through my theatre organ connections, I became very good friends, actually, with Nigel Ogden back in the 90s. And we sort of got out of touch when I moved to Germany. which is a real shame. But recently we've begun getting back in touch with each other again, which is great. So Nigel's a wonderful guy. I love Nigel. Nigel was always great fun. So it was the theatre organ at the beginning, and then it turned into church organ. And yes, I do also, of course, play the piano. Check out, I've got some boogie woogie piano videos on the channel. Go and check them out. What's next, Mrs. G?
Reen.
Reen! Hello, Reen. Colonel Ryan is asking.
Is there music Vanessa likes that you don't want to play for her on the organ?
Is that, what did you ask? Is there any music that Vanessa likes that I don't want to play?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Everything, I would say, everything. Vanessa's much younger than I am.
Komm, nee. Ich mag mehr romantische Musik und du magst gar keine romantische Musik.
All right, there you are. So if you heard that, for the German people listening, for the Germans, she just said she loves romantic music, and I don't. Basically, when we got together, you know, when Vanessa and I got together, we would be, you know, driving around in the car, and I'd maybe have my iPhone attached to the audio system in the car, and it would be playing my music. And Vanessa would sit looking at me and said, "What is this prehistoric rubbish?" And I would say things like, "Well, it's, you know, it's the Beatles." And she said,
"Na, das stimmt nicht. Komm, die Beatles höre ich auch."
And now she's saying she does listen to the Beatles herself. Rubbish. She doesn't listen to the Beatles. She didn't even know who the Beatles were.
Das stimmt nicht. Das stimmt.
When I said to her, I mentioned people I used to, know and, things. And I mentioned George Harrison to her one day, and she went, "Who's George Harrison?" There you are. But it's a generation thing. She's much younger than I am. Much younger than I am. So yes, but she likes that sort of sentimental, sloppy, romantic stuff you get these days. You like Ed Sheeran, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, she loves Ed Sheeran. I can't stand Ed Sheeran. All that sort of, I can't stand that music. I want music that grabs you by the balls, twists them, and then says yes. That's the kind of music I want. I don't want sort of boo-hoo, listen to me, oh, I've had such a tough life, give me more money. I don't like that kind of music. And people like Ed Sheeran annoy me. Making hundreds of millions with their music and then sort of still moaning on, "Oh, my life is I have such a hard life." No, you don't. No, you don't. You're rich as sod and you're wonderful. Enjoy life. Get out there. So yes, like my music, it should be, it should grab you by the balls and make you excited. That's what music should be able to do. I'm not into heart stringy, touchy stuff. I'm in trouble now. I'm in real trouble now.
Reen wünscht sich was aus den 80er
Reen wants something from the 80s. Well, Reen, you play something from the 80s then. The 80s, what? That's not a decade to talk about music. The 80s were awful. As far as I'm concerned, good music stopped. Good music stopped in the late 70s. Everything after that's just rubbish.
Aber danke schön, Reen.
Don't you think? I'm generalizing here. Of course, there is some good music that came in the 80s, maybe even the 90s. After that, I doubt it.
So.
When music stopped being a music, for example, Queen, Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury wrote all of those songs himself. And nowadays, songs are written by committees.
Du darfst nicht so lange die Fragen beantworten.
And no, you've got me going now. I'm on a rant about music now. And when songs were written by actual people who knew what they were talking about, yes. But now they're just written by committees now, and rubbish. Sorry. Get excited, don't I? That's why I'm an organist. I like things that grab me by the balls.
Okay. Alexander Wunderlich fragt, wie ist es mit dem Gartshore-Treffen?
Gartshore-Treffen?
Mit dem Treffen von der Gartshore-Gang. Wie ist es mit dem Treffen?
The Gartshore gang getting together to me. Look, ask her. I know nothing about this. Vanessa is secretly working towards some kind of Illuminati meet, getting all these people together.
So, dann.
I don't know. I know nothing about it. I know nothing about my life anyway. My life is dictated by Vanessa. Vanessa tells me what to do every day. She said, "Right, we're going to get up now. You are going to go for a shower. You're going to have breakfast, and then you will do this, and then we will go to bed again." And that's my day. That's right, isn't it? It's not quite that bad, but
okay,
trust me.
Du darfst jetzt nicht so lange beantworten.
Happy wife, perfect life. So
Herbert fragt, Fraser, welche Orgel hast du in Österreich schon gespielt?
Herbert, Österreich, Orgel, gar keine. Ganz einfache Antwort. Pet Shop Boys, John Castle, you can stop that. Herbert, yes, sorry, nein, gar keine Orgeln hab ich, oder? Moment. Nein, ich habe gar keine einzige Orgel in Österreich gespielt. Ich habe früher, ich war früher öfters in, wie heißt es? Bad Ischl? Ja, Bad Ischl. Da ist die Bruckner Kirche, wo Bruckner auch Organist war. Und da wollte ich immer an die Orgel. Aber ich habe es irgendwie nicht geschafft. Irgendwie nicht geschafft. Leider. Wollte ich mal machen. Ich war damals befreundet irgendwie mit den Hohenzollern. Kennt ihr die? Und die wollten irgendwie für mich arrangieren, dass ich die Orgel besuchen kann. Aber das habe ich irgendwie nicht hingekriegt. Müssen wir mal machen. Herbert, wir machen mal eine Reise nach Österreich und du besorgst uns schöne Orgel. Das wäre cool. Cool. Richard S. It looks like Vanessa is your manager. Yes, Vanessa is now officially my manager. She's actually being paid to be my manager now as well. Officially.
Was? Seit wann das denn?
Yeah.
Okay.
ELO. Someone said ELP. I hope you mean ELO. I love ELO. Jeff Lynn. Oh, wonderful, 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 wonderful. Mr. Blue Sky.
Ach, Michael Thielen ist auch da.
Michael Thielen ist auch da. Hallo Michael Thielen. Hallo.
Das
Sehr
fragt
schön.
Vanessa, sagt Alexander wunderlich. Mit dem Treffen.
Ja, dann los. Dann erzähl.
Was soll ich denn erzählen?
Ja, erzähl.
Wir haben noch nichts geplant.
Wir haben noch nichts geplant.
Wir
Dann.
wollten es vielleicht, wenn die Abtei oder so fertig ist. Also wenn Corona mal ein bisschen weniger ist. Ja.
Okay. Oh,
Oh Gott, der Chick.
the dog's having a bad dream. Hold on, we have to be careful here. Oh, he's all worked up. Can you hear that? He's having a bad dream. Can you hear that? What's wrong? Schläft er noch?
Weiß nicht, was er. Alles gut? Alles gut?
God. The dog's getting all worked up, having a bad dream. Sorry. Sorry. Yes. What was that question? Sorry. Alles gut? Yeah. No. Sorry. Yeah. Vanessa's saying getting the Gartshore gang together for a live meet. We would love to. We're going to wait until Corona's a bit, until it's properly down, so we can, so we don't have to meet with rules and regulations.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. But we will do it sometime. And maybe something like, when the Marienstadt Abbey organ is ready, when it's finished, then we maybe arrange a meeting there or something like that. Yeah, that would be fun. John Drake, could we see Vanessa? The answer is simple. As soon as we get 50,000 subscribers by the end of March. By the end of March, then yes. Vanessa will be.
Benedikt Heil fragt, ob du mal eine Top 3 oder Top 5 der schönsten Lieder im Gotteslob geben könntest.
Benedikt?
Heil.
Benedikt Heil. Wo steht Benedikt
Ja,
Heil? Das habe ich gar
oben
nicht gesehen.
ist
Viel weiter oben. Benedikt Heil fragt, meine 3 Lieblingslieder im Gotteslob.
Oder deine 5, deine Top 5
5.
und Top 3. Ja. Mhm.
Benedict Heil just asked, what are my 5 favorite hymns in the German hymn book? Ooh, that's a very, very, very good question indeed. That's a good question indeed. 5 favorite hymns. Definitely number 880 in the Limburg edition. That's a wunderschön prächtige Maria hymn that I love playing all the time. So yes, that. I love number 855, Mein Gott, wie schön ist deine Welt. I played that just the other day, so yes, that's in there as well. I absolutely adore Segne du Maria, that's another Marienlied, number 535. What else do I like? I like lots. I can't. I like the old ones as well. Actually, 424, that's Colin Charmley's one, Wer nur den lieben Gott lässt walten. I love that. And a 5th one, what can a 5th one be? A 5th one, a favorite. Actually, 453, Bewahre uns Gott. Yeah, da dum bum bum ba da dum bum bum ba. It's like a sort of an Eastern European march. It's a waltz tune. It's rather cool, like a sort of a Slavic march. It's great. Waltz, Slavic waltz. Great. I love that. There you are. There's 5. How about that? Favorite English hymn tune? Ooh, difficult one. Very difficult one. Probably either. Actually, from Herbert Howells, Michael. Da, 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 da. All my hope on God is founded. That's beautiful. That's a wonderful one. What else? There's so many. Anything that's good and old and grabs you by the, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what it is. All kind of music. Music has to do something with you. Music has to get into your brain and sort of get those synapses working and doing its thing. And when that starts happening, then the Senate Theatre, that's the one that Dr. Bob just wrote that. The Senate Theatre in Detroit, that was it. Anyway, but music has to get inside you, and it has to sort of eat at you and sort of make you want to do things. And yeah, that's what I need. Wie lange braucht man, Michael Thielen fragt, sich mit einer fremden Orgel anzufreunden? Good question. Michael Thielen just asked, how long do you need to, get used to a new organ, to registrations, stops, orders, and all that sort of thing? It depends. The larger the organ, the longer it takes. Simple as that. Because when I try out a new organ for the first time, I like to try out all the different colours, all the stock colours. And some of those. Uh-oh, here we go. The dog's going to have a coughing fit in a minute. This is going to be exciting. I think it was a bit of a heavy day for him today in the car. So to answer Ursa Mayer's question later, he loves driving in the car, but it knocks him for 6. It really. Vanessa, versteck dich und ich zeige ihn kurz. You want to see Super Dog? This is hilarious. This is the dog lying on the bed here. Have you ever seen anything more stupid in your life? Look at that, isn't it? That's him lying on the bed. Covering it in here. Guck mal. Wer ist der? No, he thinks someone's there. Sorry, anyway, there we are. There you are. Have I ever listened to Metallica? God, yeah. Love Metallica. I love all that sort of stuff. Heavy metal music is just opera with big guitars. Good heavy metal music. There's a lot of rubbish out there, sort of, people screaming at microphones and just not doing anything. That's not music. But yeah, a lot of real sort of heavy music is absolutely wonderful. I wouldn't call them heavy, but it's as heavy music was starting. I was reasonably good friends with John Lord from Deep Purple before he sadly died. And that's a kind of music that that was heading into the heavy world, wasn't it? And that's wonderful. That's absolutely amazing music, or even of some kind of prog rock stuff that became harder and harder over the years, like Rick Wakeman. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. That's not necessarily heavy, but that's getting towards the heavy direction. I love that. I absolutely love that. And AC/DC, I loved AC/DC. I met Brian Johnson, not Brian Wilson. Brian Wilson was the Beach Boys. Brian Johnson. I met Brian once, and I had no idea who he was. I was so embarrassed. It was this tiny little guy with a Geordie accent, and I had no idea who he was until he got hold of a microphone, and then it was very blatantly obvious who he was. Brian Johnson, wonderful guy. That wasn't a very good accent there. What about Alice Cooper? Yeah, bring it on. Dominic Eckhart. What about AC/DC? There you are. I just mentioned them. Yes. What about Elvis Presley? Oh, yes. Elvis Presley. Now, I don't mean remove, but take away the spangly suits and the cheeseburgers and the constipation and death on toilet. Take away all of that side of Elvis and just leave the music, or just the singing even, and perfection. Elvis was probably the best thing to happen to 20th century music. He could do it all. Don't forget, he never had a song of his own. It was always other people's songs, yeah? And Elvis could do it all. There are some of the old stuff, Elvis, absolutely wonderful. It was straight from the blues world, the Nashville, the blues coming up from the South. He hung around primarily with, black kids in the part of the towns he was living in at the time, so he got all the black music of the day, which is, of course, the better music. And he sort of took that and started out that way, and people hated it at the beginning because they thought, what's this white kid doing singing this music? But of course it was wonderful, and it took the world by storm, and he sort of evolved his style rather a lot. And later in life, the kind of stuff he was doing was phenomenal. Actually, my favorite piece of music by Elvis is his version of Bridge Over Troubled Water, which even Paul Simon said was better than the original. and that's saying something. It's wonderful. It's over the top. It's Elvis with an orchestra, with a choir, with everything. It's so over the top. There's a wonderful recording of it actually now. So Elvis and then redubbed with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, and they did quite a few of the Elvis numbers, and they're wonderful. Burning Love they did as well with orchestra. That's wonderful. But go and listen to that. Elvis singing Bridge Over Troubled Water. It's absolutely wonderful. Someone just said something else there. Pink Floyd. I wasn't too much of a Pink Floyd fan. I don't know why.
Nightwish. What's mit Nightwish?
Hold on. There were some other good things. Where did I get? Jimi Hendrix. Nah, not the biggest fan of Jimi Hendrix really. It was a bit, I don't know. It was Jimi Hendrix was a child of his time, so I think you needed to be as high as Jimi Hendrix to really appreciate Jimi Hendrix. Did you like the Lawrence Welk Orchestra? Wonderful, wonderful. Lawrence, yeah, actually, yes. I love cheesy music, and Lawrence Welk and his cheesy stuff was wonderful. But of course, wonderful, wonderful. A one and a two, and Lawrence Welk was great. Lawrence Welk was great because he paid his musicians well. He had the best musicians of the time, so he had an orchestra, and it was basically a big band in there. And when Lawrence Welk guys did jazz music, it was just fantastic. It was like listening to Duke Ellington and Count Basie combined. It was wonderful. ABBA, love ABBA. ABBA's wonderful. Pink Floyd, like we said, never got to them. Joe DeFrancesco, ooh, not if we have to. Do I play the Hammond organ? Yes, I even used to have a Hammond organ, and then I sold it because I was stupid. Is there a piece of music that can bring you to tears? Graham Graham is our ever romantic. Yes, Graham, we love you for that. Yes, actually, the Durufle Requiem. Durufle Requiem, the Agnus Dei of the Durufle Requiem, if performed properly, I think it's the most beautiful piece of choral music ever written. The whole thing is wonderful, but the Agnus Dei from Durufle's Requiem is possibly the most beautiful piece of music ever written. There you are. Thinking Scottish, what about Average White Band? Cream. Eric Clapton and Cream. Yes, but let's go for Eric Clapton later. That's better. Cream, again, was a product of its time, and I think you had to be as high as they were to really enjoy it. Iron Maiden, not quite so much as the other. Iron Maiden, yes, but maybe not. Queen, definitely. Queen, absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. It doesn't have to be Bohemian Rhapsody. Killer Queen is one of my favorites of theirs. I love the harmonies in Killer Queen. I think they're wonderful. Have I ever been to Iceland? No, I haven't, but I always wanted to. So there you are. How about, is that an invitation? Kristin Ingi Petursson. Shouldn't you have a something daughter name if you're I never knew how that worked. I knew Magnus Magnusson in the old days. Magnus Magnusson and I went to Glasgow to get our passports renewed on the same day. There you are. There's a weird one. And Magnus Magnusson, for some reason, knew my father. So there we are. Don't know how that worked out. James Last. Yeah, James Last. James Last, again, product of his time. I preferred Bert Kempfert to James Last. There you are. So Eric Clapton, we already had Cream and will I do an ABBA night? That would be good for you. You're not doing questions anymore, are you? I've somehow worked out how this works. An ABBA night, that would be good, wouldn't it? What would we start with? Mamma Mia, Dancing Queen, Waterloo. I took the chords of Waterloo some night before and did something like that. Ben's Place, Mr. Ray Charles. Ah, I knew Mr. Ray Charles. I worked with Mr. Ray Charles. Oh, wow. That was quite an experience. Let's leave it as that. It was wonderful, but quite an experience. Yeah. Thank you for the music, says Razbaz. That would be good, yes. What about some questions, Vanessa?
Ja, da hatten noch weitere Konzertplanungen, ob wir welche haben.
Weitere Konzert. Oh, the dog's about to fall off the bed now. Got this. The noises in the background is a dog making noises. Yes, you're beautiful. We love you to bits, but this dog is really something for all the senses. You can definitely see him. You can certainly hear him, and believe me, you can smell him. Quite something. quite something. And Vanessa has found something. What have you found? Has he got a tick? Oh, she's found something on him. But excuse me. Do I have any siblings? Are they musical? Oh, I'm going to get into trouble for this. Yes, I have one younger sister. My younger sister, Laura. My wonderful younger sister, Laura. Laura and I had piano lessons when we were young, and I think Laura was kind of more forced into it than I was. There's a sort of running family joke. You know, she played a song called "Carry Me Back to Old Virginie" on the piano. And we always, or my dad used to call it, "Drag Me Back to Old Virginie." That's sort of the way she played it, which is not very fair. She played it very well, of course. But yes, she wasn't quite as enthusiastic as I was, let's put it like that. But her youngest daughter, actually, she's quite good on various instruments. She's got, what did she do recently, grade 5 or grade 6? She's going through her grades at the moment. She's doing rather well. So yes, so the generations have been passed on, and the musical stuff will be there. Vanessa, will you ever ask Fraser for organ lessons? Willst du Orgel lernen? Darf ich dir Orgel zeigen? She's laughing. I think that's a no.
Ich bin sehr unbegabt in sowas, leider.
She says she's not talented in that. That's not true, actually. I showed her how to play a pentatonic scale on the piano using only 3 fingers. Using only 3 fingers, and she said yes. She said yes. So there you are.
Also hast du jetzt die weiteren Konzertplanungen beantwortet?
Ja, weitere Konzertplanung, sorry, stimmt. Weitere Konzertplanung. Das mache ich jetzt auf Deutsch, weil die meisten Konzerte sind im deutschsprachigen Raum. Noch. Ja, dieses Jahr bin ich offen für alle Konzerte, weil die Welt öffnet sich wieder. Die Konzerte öffnen sich wieder und ich bin wirklich für alles da zu haben. Ich habe ein paar Anfragen schon da, E-Mails, fast Leute E-Mails geschickt haben in den letzten Wochen. Die haben wir gesehen und die werden wir beantworten. Und wenn wir das machen können, dann werden wir es auf jeden Fall machen. Also Michael Thielen, kann man ein Konzert organisieren? Großraum Köln, besteht da Interesse? Selbstverständlich, das ist eine Stunde von uns entfernt. Du bist in Kürten, ne? Also wo genau sollen wir denn da was machen? Hast du eine Idee? E-Mail bitte, Michael, E-Mail. Das wäre cool. I'm being looked at in the background. Have I ever been to the US? If so, what organs have you played there? I answered that about an hour ago. Various organs in the Detroit area, various organs in the Chicago area. And New York. I've played a few organs in New York as well. Rasbas, Art Tatum lässt grüßen. Ganz genau. Pentatonic scales. Gerald, would love to hear you play the San Filippo. I would love to play the San Filippo Wurlitzer. That's a 5-manual, 80-rank Wurlitzer. Oh my God, that's the stuff dreams are made of, in a purpose-built concert hall, in a private residence. Oh my God, that's just, you know, if I ever won the lottery, that's the kind of thing I would be doing. Have I ever been to Canada? Yes, I have been in Toronto. I went to Toronto once, and I can remember nothing about it. What does that tell us about Toronto and Canada in general? I have family in Canada, so I should be careful what I say. Analog Ground, do either Errol Garner and or Dave Brubeck inspire me? Yes, both. I love Errol Garner. Errol Garner was that wonderful sort of split brain down the middle guy. His left and right brain halves had nothing to do with each other. And that's how he played it. So it's unbelievable. Crazy. Absolutely wonderful. Dave Brubeck, yes. Sort of academic jazz is what you could call that, I suppose. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I think we need to do an international tour, don't you? We are open to offers. We're open to offers. We need sponsorship, though, because these things are expensive, and I'm a penniless musician. I'm in Switzerland. I'm a penniless musician tonight. Good God. 40 euros for 2 pizzas.
Komm, die hast du jetzt bezahlt.
Yeah, that's true. So, yes, those were paid by Rien. Thank you very much, Rien. Thank you, Rien, for buying our pizzas tonight. Willst du mal kurz, but remember, I just showed you the dog 5 minutes ago, completely bonkers on the bed. Well, wait, this is him 5 minutes later. Ready? absolutely sound asleep. He's exhausted. Must have been a bit of a heavy day for him. He's absolutely exhausted. Very cute, poor beast. Very, very exhausted. Very exhausted. Theatre organ concert. Yeah, I love theatre organs. Definitely theatre organ concerts. Isn't that cute? Isn't it cute? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to have to start slowing things down here because we've got to get up very early in the morning. Don't forget, I've got to be completely focused and ready for tomorrow morning. I have, like I said, a little medical thing to do tomorrow morning here in Switzerland. And yeah, the dog is tired, and I think we're going to have to be tired in a minute too. Wie spät haben wir denn überhaupt?
11:30.
Oh, wir haben schon 11:30. It's already 11:30 p.m. here, so probably time we should be getting ready to bed. Colin Charmley, the Senate Theatre in Detroit. That's the one I was talking about earlier. I played in the Fox Detroit and in the Senate Theatre Detroit, so definitely that one. So yeah, it was the Senate Theatre. Wonderful, beautiful instrument. A very ornate console, sort of black and gold console. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
Es gibt Millionen Fragen noch. Also
Vanessa's asking lots of things in the back.
Schön, dass Sie alle da waren.
Yes, I think so. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have to close up for tonight because we have to get off to do our things. But yes, we'll definitely do another one of these live chats one day. Did you enjoy the live chat instead of music for a change? Yeah, I can play for hours, and believe me, I can talk for hours as well. It's what I do for a living. It's what I do for a living, isn't it? Yeah, so I mean, if you enjoy it, let me know. Maybe we'll do this from time to time, or maybe no, we're not allowed to talk about that yet, are we? Our secret project, not yet.
Was meinst du, Mai das? Das müssen wir bald
We have
Freitag.
We have a secret project. We'll tell you about it on Friday. Tune in on Friday. Friday night is organ music night. Usual time, Friday night, and we'll definitely.
ABBA night, oder?
Bitte?
Vielleicht ABBA night.
An ABBA night? Who wants an ABBA night on Friday? Hands up or thumbs up if you want an ABBA night on Friday.
Yeah.
You get 1 minute to answer. Who wants ABBA night on Friday? This is a bouncy bed.
Na, der Hund schläft. Bitte. Du musst schlafen.
Is this it? Are we doing it? Are we having it? Are we going to have a... Who's Dr. Bob? I love the idea of Dr. Bob. Is it the Dr. Bob? That'd be kind of cool.
Dr. Bob. Aber geht der wrong.
Kommen Freitag auch die Stücke für letzten Freitag? Not if we're going to do an ABBA night.
An 80s night. Rien möchte lieber eine 80s night.
No, absolutely not. Rien, there will be no 80s night. I'm sorry.
Nicht?
No, so, the 80s. What am I going to play?
Das kannst du mal für Rien
Tears
machen.
for Fears.
Das kannst du mal für den Rien machen.
Das könnte ich wirklich mal für Rien machen. Ich mach's für dich privat.
Nein, wir machen das öffentlich.
Rien says I should do a night of 80s music. What the hell would I play? The 80s, it was a disaster musically speaking. What would it be? What would the 80s be? So a culture club. Oh, I could do modern talking, couldn't I? Yeah, we could do. Does anyone outside Germany know who modern talking was? Anyone remember modern talking? Outside Germany. Police. Maybe not too bad. Orchestral maneuvers in the dark. Okay, hold on a minute. Super. Oh no, I didn't like Supertramp. Sorry, Ingo. Didn't like Supertramp. No. Sorry.
Du musst einmal was spielen, was du nicht magst.
Vanessa says I should play things that I don't like. Trust me, I do. I've played quite a lot of music I don't like. I don't like everything I play. Yeah. Very famous in Romania, modern talking. That says a lot, doesn't it? Yes. Thomas Anders, the guy from Modern Talking, he lives not far away from us, and actually his wife comes from the next village over. So there you are. So we see him quite regularly. Wham! Yeah. I played last Christmas in December. That's enough wham, I think.
Also ich setze mich dafür ein, dass wir eine 80er-Nacht machen.
Oh my God. Okay.
Mit allen Mitteln einer Frau, also komm.
Okay. Oh God. Okay. Okay, thank you. You've talked me into it. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to do an ABBA night on Friday. Is that right? Yeah. I think there was a general yes to ABBA on Friday, yeah? And then Gleiswanderer will do the, wir machen die Sonderwünsche, die wir eigentlich da machen wollten, die machen wir dann die Woche drauf. Ja? Das dürfen wir nicht vergessen.
Oder den Sonntag.
Oder an dem Sonntag, stimmt. Wir haben auch den Sonntag nächste Woche.
No,
das
aber.
cool.
Also einer mag es keinen.
No, aber, says Sid. No, ABBA's wonderful. It's my dad's band. What, is your dad in ABBA or something? Yeah. ABBA, yes. 80s, no. Who said that? Yes, Marco, you're right. Absolutely wonderful.
Was denn?
That's it.
Ja, aber komm, wir müssen mal für alle was machen.
Wir müssen für alle was machen. Das stimmt natürlich. Das stimmt für mich. Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll do a deal. No, we won't do a deal. That's silly.
Tina Turner, Michael Jackson, Bryan Adams, Depeche Mode. Sagt Rien.
Yeah. You're right, Rien. All of those people were musicians in the 80s. And with the exception of Tina Turner, all of them were dreadful.
Das stimmt doch gar nicht. Michael Jackson war doch nicht...
Michael Jackson? Let's not talk about Michael Jackson.
Auch die Musik war...
That's true, actually. Some of the music was alright. Actually, we could play Earth Song from Michael Jackson. That works well on the organ. We could do that. That sound could have been written by de Roufflet, actually, because it's so lovely. 80s funk. Susanna, now we're talking.
Was denn?
80s funk.
Kenn ich nicht.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Now we're talking. I tell you what, a night of 80s music, but I get to choose the music.
Ach komm, musst auch mal ein bisschen was machen.
All right, my manager is telling me I should do that. Earth, Wind and Fire, okay.
Der Manager setzt sich ein für die Leute.
Earth, Wind and Fire, I would put more into the 70s myself, but never mind. Okay, we can do that. Okay, we can work that out. We can work it out. Was that a 70s or an 80s song? No, it was the 60s, wasn't it? Of course it was. Are we done?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for being here this evening. I'm sorry there was no organ music at all, but I did warn you. And I was amazed that how many people were here? There were about 150, 160 at the max there, yeah?
Yeah.
Pretty good. So thank you very, very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed for giving up your Sunday evenings to be here with me for a chat and nothing else. But you got to see the dog. Oh, he's sound asleep. He's absolutely sound asleep. So yeah, we shall see you very soon. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good week. Stay safe. I will report back after my medical stuff tomorrow. I'm more worried about the bill than I am the thing itself, but never mind. That's life in Switzerland for you. So yeah, have a good week, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you. See you next week. How do I stop this, by the way? And we will see you next week on Friday. I look forward to it. Friday night is music night. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing if you haven't already. Thanks for your thumbs up. I see we have 130 viewers and 130 thumbs up. That's pretty good. Thank you very much indeed. Look after yourselves. Stay safe. And we will see you next Friday. Until then, bye-bye.